What if music in your D&D game could actually like change the game world? I mean, not just be background noise.
Oh, totally. I actually had something like that happen in a recent game.
Really?
Yeah, my character was stuck in this chamber with all these enchanted stones. Each one like resonated at a different magical frequency.
Whoa.
So I had to use my lute to play a melody that like harmonized with them. And
Cool.
when I did, the wall just kind of shimmered and revealed a hidden passage. It was wild. It was like the music itself unlocked the secrets of the room.
That's so cool. And that is a perfect intro to our deep dive today. We're going to be checking out this article from LitRPG Reads, all about designing a D&D campaign around music and soundscapes.
I love this article. It really like changes how we think about music in D&D. It's not just setting the mood anymore. It's woven into the world, you know, driving the plot, impacting the mechanics.
Yeah, the article starts off with some super inspiring world-building ideas, like bardic colleges where music, magic societies, where songs hold like ancient knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Guilds whose anthems, give their members unique powers.
One that really got me was the Dwarven guilds. They use songs to transmit memories and history.
Oh, that's cool.
Think about that for gameplay. Maybe your players need to learn a specific Dwarven song to convince a blacksmith to make them a legendary weapon. Or they gotta decipher a melody inscribed on a tomb to open a secret chamber.
I love that I can already picture my players like frantically trying to learn Dwarven folk songs. Okay, but let's talk about magical instruments, because the article has some truly epic ones.
Oh yeah.
Like the Lute of Luminescence. It garnishes darkness.
Classic.
Then there's a Harp of Harmony that can settle disputes. And then there's the Siren's Lament, which has the power to spread chaos.
Ooh, those are good. Those could be awesome quest objectives, like
Yeah.
powerful artifacts that different factions are fighting over. Imagine the moral dilemmas.
Oh, totally.
Like, do you use the Siren's Lament to defeat a powerful enemy, even if it means, risking being corrupted by it?
Yeah. The article also gets into how you can integrate music into the core mechanics of D&D. So we're talking like musical puzzles where players have to figure out melodies to open doors, encounters with sound-sensitive creatures, and bardic abilities that go way beyond just inspiring their allies.
Think about a bard who can make illusions with sound, like mimicking enemy reinforcements to demoralize foes, or even using music to make the party travel faster.
So bards can basically become like masters of sonic warfare,
Yeah,
using music to manipulate the battlefield and turn the tide of combat.
exactly.
Okay, so if we're talking about actually bringing these musical elements to life in a game, the article suggests some pretty cool encounter ideas.
For sure. Like, what if your party had to protect a performance from being disrupted? Or fight a creature that's vulnerable to certain frequencies? Or maybe they have to navigate a maze where, like, discordant sounds trigger traps?
Oh, that's cool.
It's all about thinking outside the box and using music as this, like, dynamic element that shapes the challenges your players face.
I love that. And then there are the songs of power. These melodies that function like spells or rituals. Imagine a song that can heal blighted land or summon powerful winds.
That's so cool.
Right? The search for these songs of power could be the whole campaign.
Yeah.
Your players would be deciphering ancient texts, navigating dangerous ruins, and making some tough choices about how to use those songs' power.
It would be an epic quest.
Totally. This has already given me so many ideas for my next campaign. But the article also outlines 3 different campaign frameworks to show how music can be the main driver of your story. The first one is called the Symphony of Souls.
Okay, I like it already.
Right, so picture this, an ancient unfinished symphony that is rumored to have the power to change reality itself. The campaign is about your players finding this symphony and then going on a quest to complete it.
Ooh.
But it's not just about finding the missing parts. The symphony's power attracts all kinds of factions. Some want to use it for good, others have much darker plans.
Oh, so there's conflict right from the start.
Exactly. We're talking cosmic stakes here, where the music can reshape entire worlds. The article even suggests that each movement of the symphony has a unique effect on the world. Like the overture of Beginnings unleashes new life and ideas.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got the Scherzo of Discord, which spreads chaos and discontent.
That's intense.
Right. As your players discover each part of the symphony, they're not just getting closer to completing it, they're unlocking new possibilities for how music can shape the world around them.
That's a cool concept.
Right? Imagine them using the intermezzo of unity to bring together warring factions, or the adagio of reflection to uncover some hidden truth about the past.
I love how this framework blends music with world-altering magic. players have to make choices that have huge consequences.
For sure. But what if we want something a little more grounded?
Yeah.
A bit more focused on adventure and intrigue?
Yeah.
Well, the article has us covered with the Bic Heist.
Okay, tell me more.
It's a classic heist story, but with a D&D twist. Your players are tasked with infiltrating a prestigious bardic college to steal a legendary musical composition.
Nice. What kind of composition are we talking?
It could be a song that grants unimaginable power, a melody that unlocks a hidden portal, or even just a score that's so beautiful it's worth a king's ransom.
Oh, I like that. It could be anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide what makes it so valuable and why everyone wants it.
So you're telling me my players get to be musical Ocean's 11?
Exactly. I can already picture the heist crew assembling. You get your stealthy rogue disabling traps, a cunning bard using music to distract the guards, maybe even a sorcerer casting illusions to create diversions.
This is awesome. What about the heist itself? What would that look like?
Well, they might have to navigate a labyrinthine concert hall, outwit rival bards in a musical duel, or maybe they have to perform a flawless concert as a cover while secretly swapping out the legendary composition with a fake.
That's brilliant. That's a great twist.
It's all about creativity and thinking outside the box.
The Bardic Heist framework is giving me some serious Ocean's 11 vibes.
Right, but the article has one more campaign framework that I thought was really interesting. It's a little more festive. It's called the Festival of Echoes.
Ooh, festive. Tell me more.
So this one takes place during a grand music festival. It's a joyous celebration, but with a dark secret hiding beneath the surface.
Ooh, I love that juxtaposition.
So picture this. The party is in the middle of this vibrant festival, enjoying the music and the revelry, but slowly they start to notice some unsettling things happening.
Like what?
Strange melodies woven into the performances, unsettling visions appearing in the smoke from the fireworks, whispers of a forgotten prophecy.
It's creepy. I like it.
Right? Your players might be performers who get drawn into the mystery through their music. Or maybe they're investigators trying to uncover the truth behind these strange events. Maybe they receive a cryptic message hidden within a score.
Oh, that's cool.
Or they have a vision during a particularly powerful performance.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Imagine the party having to compete in a musical duel with a bard who's unknowingly channeling dark magic, or deciphering a coded message hidden in a popular folk song.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
The Festival of Echoes could be a campaign filled with intrigue, mystery, and maybe even a touch of cosmic horror.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and the article emphasizes that these are just frameworks, starting points to get your own creativity flowing.
That's good because I'm already bursting with ideas.
You can adapt them to fit your world, your players, and the kind of stories you want to tell.
That's the beauty of D&D. It's all about making it your own.
Exactly. So now that we've got our creative juices flowing, I'm curious about the practical side of things. How do we actually bring these musical elements to life during a game? Well, the article offers some great tips on running a music-themed campaign, from picking the right soundtrack to encouraging player involvement.
It's all about setting the stage.
Right. It all starts with a curated soundtrack. Forget generic tavern tunes. Every scene, encounter, and location deserves its own unique musical accompaniment.
You're treating the music like another character in the story?
Exactly. Using it to enhance the mood and immerse the players in the world.
Right. The music should reflect the themes of your campaign, the emotions of the characters, and the specific events unfolding in each scene. Use different genres and instruments to evoke different feelings.
Like a soaring orchestral score for an epic battle, haunting folk melodies for a journey through a dark forest, maybe even some pulsing electronic music for a chase scene through a futuristic city.
I love it. The possibilities are endless, and you don't have to be a musical expert to create a great soundtrack.
That's a relief.
There are tons of resources online, from royalty-free music libraries to curated playlists designed for D&D. You could even commission a composer to create custom pieces for your campaign if you're feeling really ambitious.
That would be incredible. But speaking of music, we can't forget about our players.
Yeah.
We want them to be a part of this musical journey, not just passive listeners.
Totally. The article really stresses the importance of player involvement. Encourage your players to come up with character theme songs, compose ballads about their adventures, or even perform in-game concerts. You could even have them write songs that have magical effects within the game world, like blurring the line between reality and imagination.
I love that. Imagine a bard using their music to inspire their allies, heal the wounded, or even weaken their enemies. It's like giving them the power to shape the narrative through their music.
It's a whole new level of immersion.
Right. And even if a player isn't musically inclined, they can still participate. They can describe how their characters react to the music, use their skills to help the party acquire magical instruments, or offer moral support during a crucial performance. It's all about creating a collaborative and inclusive environment where everyone feels like they're part of the story.
That's so important. Everyone should feel like they can contribute.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground here, but I think there's one more crucial aspect we need to address: balance. How do we make sure the music enhances the game without becoming a distraction or an obstacle?
That's a good point. It's all about finding the right balance.
Right. Communication is key. Talk to your players about their preferences and comfort levels with music. Some might love having music playing constantly, while others might find it distracting.
Yeah, you could start by asking them what kind of music they enjoy outside of the game and try to incorporate some of those genres and artists into your soundtrack.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And of course, we need to be mindful of the volume. Finding that sweet spot where the music enhances the mood without drowning out the dialogue or the dice rolls.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
And it's also a good idea to vary the music throughout the session, like a more upbeat track for exploration, a tense and atmospheric piece for combat, a soothing melody for moments of role-playing or character development. Think about how a film score uses music to emphasize the emotional beats of a scene and apply that same principle to your D&D game.
That's a great analogy.
Right. It's not just about finding the right music, it's about using it strategically to create a dynamic and engaging soundscape that reflects the changing moods and events of the game. The article emphasizes that there's no one right way to use music in a D&D campaign. It's all about experimentation and finding what works best for you and your players.
I love that approach. It's all about having fun and being creative.
Absolutely. Embrace the creative possibilities.
Yeah.
Have fun with it, and don't be afraid to break a few rules along the way.
That's the spirit.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm picturing like this team, stealthy, rogue disabling traps, a cunning bard using their music to distract the guards, maybe even like a sorcerer, casting illusions as a diversion.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Okay, what about the actual heist itself? What would that involve?
Well, they might have to navigate this crazy labyrinthine concert hall.
Okay.
Or maybe they have to outsmart these rival bards in a musical duel. Or maybe they have to perform this flawless concert as a cover while they're secretly swapping out the legendary composition with a fake.
Whoa, that's a good twist.
It's all about creativity and thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
The Bardic Heist framework is giving me serious Ocean's 11 vibes.
Me too.
Yeah.
But the article has one more campaign framework that I thought was really cool. It's a little more on the festive side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Festival of Echoes.
Okay, I like the name.
So this one takes place during a grand music festival. It's like a big, joyous celebration. But there's this dark secret lurking beneath the surface.
Oh, I love that. That juxtaposition of light and dark.
Exactly. So picture this. The party's in the middle of this vibrant festival. They're enjoying the music and the revelry, but then they start noticing these weird things happening.
Yeah, what kind of weird things?
Strange melodies kind of woven into the performances.
Yeah.
And then unsettling visions that appear in the smoke from the fireworks. And whispers of some forgotten prophecy.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's a little spooky, right? So your players could be performers who get drawn into the mystery through their music. Or maybe they're investigators trying to figure out the truth behind all these strange events. Maybe they get a cryptic message that's hidden in a musical score.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they experience a vision during a really powerful performance.
I'm already getting chills.
I know, right? It's a cool concept. So imagine the party having to compete in a musical duel with a bard who's unknowingly channeling dark magic.
Oh, wow.
Or they have to decipher a coded message that's hidden in a popular folk song.
I love that.
Yeah, so the Festival of Echoes could be a campaign full of intrigue, mystery, and maybe even a touch of cosmic horror.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything. I mean, the article really emphasizes that these are just frameworks. Just starting points to get your creativity flowing.
Yeah.
You can adapt them to fit your world, your players, and the stories that you want to tell.
That's what makes D&D so great. It's all about making it your own.
Totally. So we've got all these creative juices flowing, but I'm kind of wondering about the practical side of things. How do you actually bring all these musical elements to life during a game?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, the article gives us some really great tips on how to run a music-themed campaign. From picking the right soundtrack to encouraging your players to get involved.
It's all about setting the stage.
Exactly. It all starts with the soundtrack. Forget about those generic tavern tunes. Every scene, every encounter, every location needs its own unique music.
Yeah, you gotta treat the music like it's a character in the story.
Right. Use it to enhance the mood and really immerse the players in the world.
The music should reflect the themes of your campaign, the emotions of the characters, the events that are happening in each scene. Use different genres and instruments to evoke different feelings.
Like a soaring orchestral score for an epic battle. Haunting folk melodies for a journey through a dark forest. Or maybe like some pulsing electronic music for a chase scene through a futuristic city.
Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are pretty much endless, and you don't need to be a musical expert to put together a great soundtrack.
Okay, good. Because I am not.
There's so many resources out there, like royalty-free music libraries, curated playlists for D&D. You could even hire a composer to create custom music for your campaign if you wanted to.
That would be so cool.
Wow.
Okay, but speaking of music, we can't forget about the players. We want them to be a part of this whole musical journey, not just listening in the background.
For sure. The article really stresses how important it is to get your players involved. Encourage them to come up with theme songs for their characters, maybe compose ballads about their adventures, or even put on concerts in the game. You could even let them write songs that have magical effects within the game world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's like blurring the lines between reality and imagination.
I love that. Imagine a bard using their music to inspire their allies or heal their wounds or even weaken their enemies. They're literally shaping the narrative with their music.
Yeah, it adds a whole new level of immersion to the game.
And even if a player isn't musical, they can still participate. They can describe how their character reacts to the music. Maybe use their skills to help the party find magical instruments. Or offer moral support during a big performance. It's all about making sure everyone feels included and like they're part of the story.
Exactly. Everyone should feel like they can contribute.
Okay, so we covered a lot, but there's one more thing we need to talk about. Balance. Like, how do we make sure the music is enhancing the game without becoming a distraction?
That's a really good point. You don't want it to be overwhelming.
Right, communication is key. Talk to your players about what they like and what they don't like. Some players might love having music playing all the time, while others might find it distracting.
Yeah, you could start by asking them about the music they enjoy outside of the game and see if you can work some of that into your sessions.
And of course, we need to be mindful of the volume. Like, find that sweet spot where the music is adding to the mood without drowning out the dialogue or the sound of the dice rolling.
Yeah, you want to create a good balance.
It's also a good idea to change up the music throughout the session. You know, like a more upbeat track for when they're exploring, a tense and atmospheric piece for combat, a soothing melody for role-playing. It's like how a movie uses music to emphasize different scenes.
That's a great comparison.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding the right music. It's about using it in a smart way to create a dynamic soundscape that reflects what's happening in the game. The article makes it clear that there's no one right way to use music in D&D.
That's true.
It's all about experimenting and finding what works for you and your group.
Exactly. You got to be willing to try new things and have fun with it.
Embrace the possibilities, have fun, and don't be afraid to break the rules.
I like that philosophy.
Man, this has been like a whirlwind of musical inspiration. It's really like opened up a whole new world of D&D for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how much music can change the game.
Totally. It's not just background noise. It can really help you build a world, develop the plot, and even like flesh out your characters.
Exactly. And for anyone out there who's like intimidated by the idea of using music in their games, just remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start small and find what works for your group.
Right. You don't have to be like Mozart or have a crazy sound system to create an amazing experience.
Exactly. Just start experimenting. Try different playlists. Ask your players for suggestions and don't be afraid to think outside the box. Maybe one of your players is a musician and they want to contribute to the soundtrack.
Oh, that would be awesome. And even if no one in your group plays music, there are tons of resources online like royalty-free music libraries, playlists for different moods and genres, and even sound effects that you can use to make your encounters come alive.
The important thing is to have fun and remember that music can make your D&D games so much more epic and memorable.
Well said. This deep dive has been amazing. I can't wait to use all these ideas in my own games. And before we go, I want to give a shout out to Heidi Jiang, the author of this incredible article, and to LitRPG Reads for publishing it. They're a fantastic resource for anyone who loves D&D and LitRPG and just good storytelling.
And of course, we can't forget Paul Bello, the founder of LitRPG Reads. He's built such a great community for gamers and writers.
Absolutely. So to wrap things up, we want to leave you with a question to think about. If you could design a magical instrument, what powers would it have? And how would it change your game world? Share your ideas in the comments below. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Until next time, happy gaming.